It will work this way. Hello and welcome, learning and development nerds and technologists and developers, instructional designers, and whoever you are. Learning Battle Cards is a product made in Poland but shipped worldwide that is, how to say it, that is must-have for all the folks that are responsible for learning and development and want to do it fast, want to do it in a consistent, sustainable way, wants to have a faster route for delivering really good learning experiences. So let's take a closer look what the Learning Battle Card is, what the Learning Battle Cards are, because there are 110 cards. So, hey ho, new version, new review, and unboxing. If you just take a look at the cards, first of all, they're just two sides, of course, like with all the cards. Then on one side, you have a description of particular activity on the and the cloud of text and the icon and etc. Easy to see. But what is very interesting is the other side of the card, where this particular method is described, is tagged, marked. It has got specific categories for which activities it will fit, for which maybe it's not the perfect solution or is not recommended. Is it rather for formal learning, informal learning? All of those cards, they do have this kind of data behind them. And what I really think it's cool that there is a thorough mathematical model behind this. There is a lot of research, there is a lot of science and learning and development experience behind those cards. It's not just a tool to play a game and to have fun. Of course you can, but this is a really, really serious tool for designing learning experiences that may be very complex, but doesn't have to. So, from my perspective, this is a tool to fight boring training, to fight boring learning experiences. So if you struggle with your organization, if you struggle with delivering learning experiences that are not just a standard webinar or not that just a standard e-learning like a SCORM package, but you would like to build a learning experience with different activities, with different actions, with different experiences, this is a perfect tool for you. So this is a second edition of the Learning Battle Cards. The first version was released quite a long time ago. I think, I don't remember, but I think it's for sure like 5 years at least. As you can see, this version is pretty worn out. I'm really using this, so I really use it a lot. So as you can see, it's losing its flavor. I was just planning to replace the box, but now the newer version, it's the box is really hard. I think that the one feedback that I had to the previous cards was that that this box wasn't that good, that the box wasn't that how to say it, that robust so that it can be used, but it can be used as a workshop tool. But let's take a look at what has changed in the card. This is job 8 from the old cards. Let's pick some random cards, maybe article from the new one. So this is the old one, this is the new one, 2011. So it's more than, oh my gosh, it's not 5 years, it's 11 years. Oh my god. So I think that the design of this front page, not a huge difference. Maybe it looks better. I think from design perspective it looks nicer. The fact that it's like this small thing like the article, here the description is in white, it's easier to read. Okay, I think it's better. What's on the other side? I think here are the big differences. First of all, I really like that this circle is removed. It was about granularity of the training. Is it small, large, big, medium, whatever? It was a confusing item. I've been asked many times about this. What does it mean? How does it work? I think it's cool that it's removed. That's great. The next thing, self-learning with peers. Really like it. The fact that it's positioned here. I think it's much cleaner. I think some of the areas are better visible. And what is also important, that I think that it's easier to read the content of the new card, which doesn't say that the old cards I will not be using them. I think that during the workshops I can still use them. They are still fine. They're still okay. I just need to find a nicer box for this. But also there are two extra cards comparing to the latest, to the last version, compared to the 2011 version. There are additional cards, and what is very, very interesting is that QR code that we have here. So this QR code creates additional layer. So how does it work? Let's see how this layer looks like. So I'll just grab a mobile. I'll just grab my mobile and let's see how this works. So of course I just take the card, I scan it, I just scan the QR code on the card. So I just scan the QR code on the card and it will redirect me to the Learning Battle Cards page. And of course we can choose a language. I'll pick English, and then it describes what an article is, right? So I have additional layer, and I would really love to see that this layer will be developed. I think there is a huge chance to develop this. There is a landing page that is nice. You can read an article in English, French. I would love to see it in other languages. But at the same time, it really is helpful, because when I use the cards, there were many questions. What does it mean? What does it mean that, for example, we will use I don't know, shadowing? What does it mean, shadowing? How do we define shadowing? So great move, great step forward that we'll have it, and kudos to the creators. So if you've never used Learning Battle Cards, let me quickly walk you through how I use Learning Battle Cards when I just lead a workshop or when I just have a discussion on some learning design. First of all, I just try to, of course, let's say that we do have, we do know what's the problem that you would like to solve with learning experience. We know what's the challenge. So then, what I like to do is to sort cards that will help me or will not help. Let's assume that we want to have some kind of learning experience that will help people lead or run the difficult conversations with their employees or with the customers. That sounds pretty easy. So then what I do as a first step, I just try to sort the ones that are okay or the ones that are not okay. So which learning experiences are good for particular context, for particular experience delivery, and which are not. What I try to do is to have two piles of experiences, two piles of learning experiences, with the one that will fit my needs or that will not fit my needs, right? And then, of course, I take the ones that are not fitting my needs, I just put them aside and focus on the ones that are that I'm interested in, right? So now I have a group of cards with learning experiences that I would like to potentially use in this scenario. So I have a showcase, I have a reflection, peer-to-peer learning, workshop, discussion, job aid, experiment, observation, case study, article, shadowing, media on demand, microlearning, simulation, peer review, and repetition. So this is how the cards will help me to build the whole experience. Out of a sudden, it's not just a workshop, it's not just a webinar, it's not just a small thing. It may start with a case study, there may be experiments involved, an observation, there may be articles, job aids, discussion. There is out of a sudden, and just like that, we do have on a table a list of experiences that can be utilized, that can be incorporated into our program. And this is why particularly I love this kind of approach. I love this kind of approach because it goes in line with design thinking. It goes in line with design thinking methods and with really driving the results in the learning experience. And when we talk about design thinking methods, I strongly recommend this book, Design Thinking for Training and Development. This is a book by Sharon Boulder and Laura Fletcher, and it features the first edition of Learning Battle Cards, and it features this approach that Learning Battle Cards is supporting. So I strongly recommend you to at least take a look at the Learning Battle Cards page and just consider this as your tool. Take care and be nerdy.